He comes all the way from Provo, Utah, where he is the writer for Joe Holt's show in Provo, and many other things. He missed the show down there to be with us, so we're very grateful. Give it up for Rahlf!
Hi. How are you guys doing? Oh, we're still playing music, I guess. Oh, I was going to dance, but no, that's okay.
You can always dance with no music.
Hi. that was a weird walkout. Yeah, my name's Rahlf. Thank you for coming. This is so nice to see all of you tonight. This is great. For those of you who don't know me, I know how racist I look. I get it. I do that on purpose, though, and that's because I don't have to try as hard to not look racist, you know? I just have to be like, yo, black people are cool. And they're like, whoa, that guy's not racist, surprisingly. It works. I am white. I am very, very white. I don't need to take a DNA test to prove that. I don't. I have, the only diversity I have in my family is my grandma's chicken enchilada recipe. It's very mild and muy bueno. I'm so white that I got a letter of recommendation from Mike Pence. I'm so white that I know all the words to Hamilton. I'm so white that the cast of the Black Panther made me a little uncomfortable. That's a lie. I love that movie. It's great. I graduated from BYU, Idaho about a year ago now, so a lot of my jokes tonight will be about being unemployed. It's your future, too. No, I was unemployed for 6 months, and a few weeks ago, I finally got a job after being unemployed for 6 months. Which is, thank you. I thought I hated being unemployed. Turns out I just hate living. It makes me realize I need this comedy thing to work out so bad. Because I can't do this working man's life. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. every morning to go to work, and I'm more of a wake up at 5:30 p.m. kind of guy. I need this comedy to work out so bad. I need, like, sponsorships to keep me going. I was hoping for Dr. Pepper. They're part of the reason I got so big anyways. But I know Dr. Pepper wouldn't do it. You know, like, they're a sugary drink. There's no way they're going to take someone who looks like me and be like, drink our drink. No. They want someone healthy looking. If they ever got me, the poster would just be like, Dr. Pepper, drink responsibly. I live down in Utah now. It's great. I live down in Provo, Utah. Utah is an interesting place, especially Salt Lake City. For those of you who remember the Mormon saints, when they came over to Utah, it was all a desert. It was just one giant desert. Everyone was dying to get there. Hardships and bad winters, and they get over the mountain and they see a vast nothing. And their leader, who's on his deathbed, goes, "This is it. We're home." Do you think some of those saints are just like, are you sure, Brigham? I heard Disneyland's only a few more 100 miles away from here. I'm fine keeping going if we can get to Disneyland. And he was like, no, hear me out. In a few centuries from now, this will be a vastly populated city. 6-lane highways that are still backed up. MLMs as far as the eye can see. We'll have universities, one that will teach apostles and prophets, and another one that'll get in fist fights after football games, and be called BYU. BYU, man. BYU is proof that God does not care about football. That or BYU is the wrong religion. And whatever they're teaching down there in Alabama, they might be onto something. Don't Don't you love watching those post-game interviews where the guy's like, I'd like to thank God for giving me this victory, and you're like, didn't you smash a liquor bottle over a teenager the other day? You think God is up there going, give him the win. He earned that one. People always wonder, hey Tantan, what's the hardest part about having a beard? Well, it's every time when you eat soup, you end up eating soup twice. You feel me, right? But then people ask, what's the best part about having a beard? And I get to say, well, every time you eat soup, you get to eat soup twice. A lot of this is tomato basil. People say Bulls hate the color red, but do you ever wonder if they just hate Spaniards? Something to consider. I love fall. It's fall right now. Let's just hear it for fall, huh? Every white person's favorite season. It's great. I love it. The best holidays are in fall, Halloween and Thanksgiving. Gosh, the gluttonous holidays, they're great. I love everything about fall except for the word fall. It just sounds so stupid. Like a 5-year-old named it. Fall! Leaves fall in the fall. We call it fall. Like a teacher's teaching them, like, hey, we've got winter, spring, summer, and the kid goes, fall! Autumn, though. Ooh, autumn's a great word. Autumn, just saying autumn, you can smell the cinnamon, you can hear the leaves crunching, you can feel a cool breeze. It's just nice. There's a lot of pretty girls named Autumn, and for a good reason. It's a great season. I'd name my daughter after that season. Now just picture a girl named Fall. It's not a good look, is it? Summer, autumn, and fall sounds like a sitcom on CBS. She's sweet and caring. Oh, I love you so much. She's charismatic. Party time! And she's trying her best. I made pumpkin turkey! Coming this Wednesday on CBS, Summer, Autumn, and Fall. CBS, ruining comedy since 2007. That's when the Big Bang Theory came out. That's why I went for that date. I was recently reminded of a story that I tried to forget. So I'm going to share that with you tonight. I went out of town to go see an old college roommate and friend named Jonathan, and Jonathan had just gotten engaged. Which is crazy, because Jonathan was never the type of person I ever thought would settle down with anyone. For example, the first time I met Jonathan, he had mono from a girl he met the first night in town. So that's Jonathan. We both hated one of our roommates though, and so we had that in common, and Jonathan worked out, so he'd eat big meals, and I'm lazy, so I ate big meals. So we'd go for meals together, and we just became good friends over that time. And about a year into our friendship, I was feeling really lonely and depressed. You see, a girl I thought I might marry had broken up with me about a month earlier, and I just couldn't seem to get any girls to talk to me, because when you're dating someone, it seems like it's really easy to talk to girls, but when you're not, it's like you forgot everything you ever knew. It's like being rich. When you have money, it's easy to make money, and when you don't, everyone hates you. So, Jonathan was the kind of person who could just hook up with anyone, and I kind of envied that at the time, and so there's this girl on Tinder that I was talking to named Michelle. And so I showed Jonathan her profile, and I said, what should I do? And Jonathan goes, well, just ask her to go for a drive and then ask if she wants to make out. And that sounded too easy. But then again, John is really attractive. He's got a great face, he works out. He's the kind of person that doesn't need to worry what his Tinder bio says. And I'm more of a, oh my gosh, you're so funny type. But I tried it out. I listened to John, and so I texted this girl, and I said, hey, do you want to go for a drive? And she said yes, which that surprised me. So 1 for 1, feeling good here. So I pick her up and we go for a drive and we're talking. It's actually going really well. We're talking and conversations are going. Get to the spot where we can see the whole town at night and the whole lights of the city. It was really nice. And I thought, this is it. It's now or never. I gotta ask if she wants to make out. I could hear my brain telling me, Tan, don't do this. You're gonna screw it up, you're gonna make this uncomfortable, and it's just gonna be awkward for the rest of the evening. And then for the first time in my life, my libido and my depression teamed up. And they said, no, screw you, brain, we're doing this. We're not getting any other chances. Like always, I listened to my depression. So I turned and I said, Michelle, do you want to make out a little bit? And she said, I'm sorry. Nothing good ever really starts with, I'm sorry. No one ever comes up and is like, I'm sorry. Joss Whedon has been secretly filming Firefly Season 2 and just released it. She says, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like doing that with someone I don't know. I'm a little disappointed, mostly in myself. But I understand. And I don't try to force it a second time. I don't believe in that. I didn't vote for Trump. So I drive her home in silence and forget about this evening. So I'm talking to Jonathan and meeting his fiance, and I reach out my hand and I said, I've never met you before. My name is Tan. And she says, actually, we have. And then Jonathan puts his hand on my shoulder and says, Tan, this is my fiance, Michelle. I'm going to be at their wedding in January, and I'm so excited for them. Thank you so much.